Good afternoon. I hope everyone's well. I've already recorded a live video on YouTube, which is up now. Um, but yeah, this video is going to be more about the female perspective being my partner behind,
Mhm.
Louisa. And yeah, I guess just about the dry fasting experience, your thoughts and feelings before going into the fast, and yeah, where you're at now. Um, and I think I've mentioned before that I think for a female, obviously they have a different cycle of life, and we've heard about the importance of fasting during particular times of your cycle. And although many people might report they don't really mind about when they fast or whatever, I think it's important to go with your intuition within yourself because everyone's at a different place, and yeah, I think it's relatively important. So this is from Louisa's perspective on where she's at and how she's feeling. So yeah, when you're listening, take it with a pinch of salt because obviously you're at where you're going to be where you're at, and obviously she's where she's at. So yeah, you want to just let us know like your thoughts and feelings before coming into the fast,
Mm.
and yeah, like where you're at now.
Okay, so yeah, I think before coming into this dry fast, I was uh, very trusting of the process. But a few days before that, I wasn't trusting of the process, but kind of feeling into it more. I kind of knew because you would be holding the space that I felt safe. Whatever was going to happen was going to happen. Um, and at the same time, I underestimated, I think, how I would feel. Because yeah, any other sort of deeper journeys that I've done, the only sort of deep journey that I've done is through meditation, uh, 10 days of silence. It's something I do most years of Vipassana. So I've dived deep into that, into myself that way, but not through a detox. I feel like it's a whole different thing. Um, yeah, but going into it, I was pretty confident. And now into the second day,
Hmm.
yeah, just really realizing just to go with the flow of how to feel because I'm normally a person that really likes to have a schedule and this and that, and just realizing that we couldn't really do that with this. I just
Mm.
had to go with how I felt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, even like the previous dry fast you done before was 36 hours, and now we're over 40 hours. And even then, like obviously with the tools that we've been using, you're much deeper into the process. So even though it's 40 plus hours, the detoxing effects that you're feeling is equivalent to a 50 hour plus. So maybe let us know yeah, what you're feeling now as opposed to
Mm,
your previous dry fast,
yeah.
or even in comparison to eating usually and drinking usually, or your rising routines, like to not consuming anything. Like yeah, let
Mm.
us know that perspective.
So I'll talk about maybe the 36-hour dry fast that I did. I think it was a few months ago. When I did that, I actually felt quite easy to do. But I guess because I had had the experience of doing a couple of maybe 2 to 3 master cleanses before, which is the lemon, the maple, and the cayenne, 10 days of that. I had done, 10 days of grapes only, so I had experimented with doing other things. So I felt actually the dry fast was a bit easier than doing those other detoxes. Um, and yeah, when I got to, I guess, today, when it was around just over 36 hours, I felt like, whoa, I felt like it had been double the time because of the other protocols that you have been implementing to accelerate
Mm,
the detox and the dry fast.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah, and then even like what about your day to day? I know that cacao like is something that you like to rise with,
Mm.
and then maybe you'll consume something, and the energy might feel different. And let us know like what that difference feels like right now.
I think because I know that we've made the intention to come here and do this, it's I can really just
Mm,
surrender to the process and allow myself to rest. You know, I slept till 12 p.m. today, which is not something I would normally do. I'd want to be getting up, getting into the day. And you know, sometimes there's that feeling of like guilt, like, oh, I need to get up, I need to do stuff. But actually, just surrendering into the rest where I guess, you know, a lot of the healing actually happens when you are sleeping, when you are
mm,
resting. Um, yeah, I feel like I've just surrendered to that.
mm,
Yeah. And yeah, normally I would be having like my cacao in the day, getting up to do my yoga, and that's what and my meditation. So I didn't really do my long meditation that I normally would because my body didn't even really feel like sitting up
mm,
or like normally doing yoga. It didn't even really want to do yoga. We did a bit of breath and stretch that you held, and I was like, whoa, I need to sit down right now.
mm,
And it's funny because we were doing the breath and stretch, and I was like, this is so easy. Why am I starting to feel like this is hard?
mm, mm.
Yeah.
And something I just want to mention as well is like when we sleep,
Mm.
that's when your body actually does all the healing. So, often people will be like, oh, just go to sleep, have the rest, or whatever it may be. Or if you're stressing out
Mm.
or you're arguing with someone, often people will say, just breathe, just breathe. So it's a natural thing that we all intuitively know. But until you really have the intention to do these things, it sets a whole different precedent to like what's to come.
Mm.
And I think as well, like, um, even with the sleep, like when you're sleeping, you're in a fasted state. You're not consuming anything. There's no food, there's no liquid. It's just breath, life force, prana. So when you're in a fasted state, when you're sleeping and then you wake up and you're still in a fasted state, you're accelerating the fast, you're accelerating the healing, you're accelerating everything, and your other senses just come alive. So there's this stillness, there's this peace, there's this tranquility, there's this purity in this state that
Mm-hmm.
can't really be explained. You just have to experience it, and yeah, it's just a different way of being.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
It's just a different way of being. Coming into nature and this beautiful forest that we're in, just
Mm.
exploring, having our feet, bare feet, walking, touching the trees, the elements. Like, do you feel any difference with that?
I think because for me personally, like having a lot of nature in my life when I was brought up. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was born on the Solomon Islands, lived there for the first 5 years of my life. And then from there I moved to New Zealand, lived there till I was a young adult, then travelled after that. Because for me, like I spend a lot of time out in nature, so it's very normal for me to be out in nature.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, in terms of connecting that with like the detox and the fast, when I'm usually doing my sort of liquid fast anyway, or liquid detoxes, I go out into nature anyway.
mm-hmm.
So it's not like it's not normal for me to be out
Mm,
in nature.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel in more of a fasted state, being out in nature, I do feel more not present necessarily, but slower,
Mm,
so that I'm able to just be.
mm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm. And that's it as well. Like, with when you're doing anything like a fast, or especially this level of a dry fast, you just have to be. You just have to surrender. You just have to, you may have a plan and intention to do something, but actually you just have to realize that the plan might not go to plan.
Mm.
And you really just have to allow.
And I think for me, it's been realizing that, like what you mentioned before to me about the detox symptoms, which is
Mm,
not something I really knew about. And I don't think you probably wanted to explain too much to me about it and just let me experience it how I experience it.
mm-hmm,
Because sometimes when we get explained how it might be, then we kind of manifest the thing to be like that.
mm-hmm,
So I thought it was good that you didn't tell me it's really anything.
mm,
And, you know, there was yeah, some moments when I was feeling lightheaded and very like, oh, what's happening to my body, and like
mm.
you know, realizing now like, oh, that's the detox symptoms
Yeah.
happening.
Should we talk about that?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Last night I'd made Louisa a very powerful bath, a very, very powerful bath, a bath that I've been utilizing for some time now. And although the fast is it's an internal work, there's also some stuff that you can do on the external that really ramps up things and really amplifies things. And I didn't really want to explain, um, I guess, yeah, the detox symptoms of the bath, because actually by doing that you can manifest a thing. And I created this bath for Louisa yesterday. And yeah, do you want to explain? Do you want to talk them through like how that bath felt?
Yeah. So, well, before I did the bath, I had an enema, which is something that I do normally anyway.
Mm,
And you had put some powerful stuff in the enema.
mm,
So I did that first, did the enema first. Um, and then, yeah, got into the bath. Felt really lovely and relaxing. I did feel my body start to kind of like heat up, as well as obviously the heat of the water, but the
mm,
stuff the powerful things you had put, the powerful medicinal healing things you had put into the bath. I didn't realize how powerful it would be.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Yeah, so I was just having the bath, and then, yeah, when it came time to get out of the bath, I think I stood up just too quick,
mm,
and just was like trying to get out. And yeah, then you kind of recommended, oh, let's have a cold shower to cool your body down.
mm-hmm,
And then in reflection of it now, even when I was having the cold shower, I was standing. So I
mm,
think I probably should have been lying down.
mm,
And when I was having the cold shower, it wasn't probably cold enough almost. Like my
mm,
body was very hot.
mm-hmm,
And then I just started to feel lightheaded and
mm-hmm,
then sick in my stomach.
mm,
And then I was like, well, I just need to sit down. And then, yeah, I started to black out.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
you were there obviously the whole way
yeah,
with me.
yeah. So at that point, she actually fainted,
Yeah.
and but
In a very safe position because I was already
very,
sitting down.
very safe position. He was already kind of sitting up, but it's like as soon as that cold water hit, like, and as soon as
Mm,
it hit you right,
yeah.
you was just back. You was just like alive.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like you just been given like a new life.
Yeah. Because all I remember hearing was like, well, you call me buddy, buddy,
Yeah.
buddy, Lou, buddy. And it was like very like far away. And then, yeah, then I was slowly starting to come back. And yeah, as soon as the cold water hit me, it was like, it's reminded me of times when I've done a cold plunge,
Mm,
especially in February when I went to Ireland. I jumped into this cold lake, and that's something they do. They go into the cold lake and they go into the sauna.
mm-hmm,
Jumping into that cold lake, they say there's a reflection point or something on the back of your neck that it's a reflex that once the cold water hits you, you're like, oh, you gasping, and all that fresh air is coming in. And that's what I felt last night when
mm,
we put the cold water on. I was like, oh. Yeah, I kind of felt like I just like boom, came back to life.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's just showing you the importance of not only having an idea of what you're doing, but
knowing.
knowing,
Yeah.
knowing like actually at that point as well, like even with the enema and the bath, with the things that I'd put in there, it could have been too much too soon.
Mm.
It could have been too much too soon, but I already knew what to do to bring you back online, to bring everything back. But yeah, you just kind of go with how you're feeling. And this is a 3-day experience, and I kind of wanted to give you a 3-day experience that's much more than a 3-day experience. And being in this beautiful environment and this beautiful space to really explore it and experience it in its entirety and its purity. Because even for me, this experience has been so amazing. And even like driving up to where we're at in Wales, like immediately I said to you, can you feel that? Can you feel that sea breeze?
Yeah.
And I really just took some deep inhales, because most of my days are dry fasted anyway.
Mm.
And I could really feel the difference. And I know that moving forward, like
Compared
this,
to a Birmingham city air
yeah,
and the seaside air, the nature air.
huge difference, huge
Mm.
difference. But as I can see, my phone is telling me that I've got 30 seconds left
Ah.
of this video, this 15-minute video.
Mm.
But yeah, thank you for sharing. And yeah, we're still on the fast. This is day 2. So yeah, there's still definitely more to share. But yeah, do you want to close with anything?
Yeah. Keep following the journey.
Keep following the journey. Thank you for joining us. We'll speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye bye.